So you're thinking about downsizing and moving into something smaller. Good for you. It's a lot of work, but you've got a lot of time right now because you're thinking about this before you actually have to do it. So get out some paper and a pencil or pen, whatever your writing tool of choice is. And I want you to start making some lists. I want you to list what you want to be close to and things that most people don't think about. Do you need to be close to a hospital? Maybe you have kidney issues. Maybe you have cancer struggles, all that kind of stuff. Do you need to be close to your doctor or your dentist? Are you a runner or a cyclist and you want to be close to some riding or walking trails? Do you have a pet? Do you need to be near a veterinarian? What do you like to do? Are you a shopper? Are you still working a little bit or need to commute to friends or family? What do you want to spend your next 5, 10 years doing? What do you want to be in close proximity to? Okay, think of those kind of things. You can always find a house. Houses can be made into homes, but not always the other way around. Okay, so think of what you want to be close to and then build your life around it. The other thing I'd suggest you do is take a look and some thinking time about how much time you spend in all the different rooms of the house where you're living right now. I remember when I started on this years ago, I was in a 4-bedroom home by myself. Not smart. I was cleaning all those rooms. I was heating and insuring all those rooms. It's crazy. Anyway, I hope you're not doing that. And if you are doing lots of rooms, at least they're smaller rooms. Okay, so think of how you're spending your time in your house. I had a friend that had a formal living room, a formal dining room, and a family room, and a finished basement, and 4 bathrooms. She lived in the kitchen, the living room, and her bedroom. That's all. Why do you need the rest of that? If you don't have grandkids or friends that are going to stay over, why have an extra bedroom? It's insurance, it's heat, all those things I talked about, and cleaning it. So think seriously, because when you save money on those things, it frees that money up for doing other goodies in your life. Traveling, buying antiques, buying records, different clothes, not necessarily new ones, but different, or a hobby. What do you want to do with the rest of your life? Maybe you're close to retirement, or maybe you've already retired. Think it through. If you haven't got a commute to work, why have a great big gas-guzzling kind of car? Pick something smaller. Pick a bike that you can take to the grocery store once in a while when the weather's nice. Maybe on a bus route so you don't have to have a car at all. Here in Ottawa, we're struggling to get our LRT up and running so it's more reliable. But something like that is another option in your life. So think of in terms of that. And then, are you a gardener? Do you have to have dirt? I'm one of those crazy people. I always thought, well, I'll get a condo. I tried pot gardening with no success whatsoever. I love tomatoes and flowers and greenery and all kinds of stuff. It just doesn't do it for me. I need some actual dirt. So I'm in a little townhouse. I'm happy as a bug in a rug. And the way they build townhouses now, as opposed to 50 years ago, the soundproofing between units is marvelous. I very, very rarely hear my neighbors at all. A teenager has moved in next to me now, and I hear the surround sound for some of the big movies that he streams. But other than that, not a big deal at all. Okay, so think about that in terms of opening your mind, and that opens your pocketbook to put money back in rather than always out. So think in terms of what you want to do. I fiddle around with antiques. I refinish furniture. I repaint and upscale old things. And I like playing around with that. So my entire garage is kind of a workshop for those kind of things. What do you like to do? Do you want a piano? Never have one. Well, you can get an electronic keyboard. They're amazing now. You could get electric, all kinds of different instruments, even drums. You don't have to have a whole great big drum kit. You can have a little electronic drum pad. They're terrific. Whatever float your boat, as they used to say, and what's going to make you happy. But think in terms of how much time and energy you're going to spend doing this kind of stuff, and you can put that into your plan. After you've done some planning, then I want you to think in terms of the city you want to live in. If you want to stay in the same city, that's cool. I know here in Ottawa, there are so many different little nooks and crannies of different neighborhoods that are so terribly different. Some are very spread out and quiet. Other ones are downtown vibrant. Other ones are along the rivers. We have 2 different adjacent rivers. I mean, so many different options. If you want really quiet, you go out away from the suburbs a little bit. So you've got some trees, some more land. Are you open to think about septic systems as opposed to municipal? Water, same thing. Does it have to be municipal water, or do you like well water? You can even have a well with osmosis and all kinds of other programs or systems to make sure the water is nice and purified. So those are options to think about as well. And your taxes tend to get a little bit lower as you go further away from the city center. Okay, so that's an option. What I would do if I were you is talk to some of your friends, even talk to me, that'd be fine, and find a realtor that you really gel with, that you feel you can trust, that you want to get to know, that you wouldn't mind having a glass of wine or a coffee with. So they turn into a friend. Some realtors are very quick to do up a deal. That's all they want to do. They just want to sell. Other ones want to build a relationship. Figure out which one of those 2 are going to make you most happy. And then find one. Go to some open houses. You can even invite your realtor to go with you. Look at some new houses. They're much smaller now, and the lots are much smaller as well. Think about, are you going to be happy if you get a bad neighbor? Because some of them can be loud. Some of them smoke weed. That's legal now. Some of them like to have parties or have a swimming pool in the backyard where they're cackling till 2 in the morning. Think in terms of what is going to be tolerable for you. You're the boss here. You get to choose. So there's a lot of neat places, and realtors do know a lot of the different areas around. So get some opinions, okay? On top of that, I want you to think in terms of budget. Just because you're going to sell your 4-bedroom house like I did for a lot of money, you know, if you get $700,000 or $800,000 for your old home, you don't have to blow all that on a smaller, newer home with less maintenance that's going to suit you perfectly. So think in terms of some options that you might not have thought about. On one of my past videos, I talked about smaller furniture. You don't need a 10-foot sectional anymore. It's just you. Something big enough you can throw your feet up and read a book, or watch TV, or take a little nap in the afternoon when the sun is shining in the side window. Room for your garden, if you want to do that, or a pretty place to put some pots out on your either back deck or front porch. Think about long term. You've always wanted to do something. Write it down. You've got time right now. Do it. Take the time. Then start talking to some trusted advisors. If you've got a financial planner or a lawyer that you're close with, talk to them. See if they've got an opinion. Maybe they've got different ideas. Maybe you want to work part-time. Maybe you don't. All those kind of things. Maybe you've always wanted to have a dog. And do you want that out in the country? And think in terms also of the country. You don't always have sidewalks out in the country. So are you going to be stable enough to take evening walks or walk your dog if you're going to get one and not have a sidewalk to be on? Okay. Little dogs particularly. I had a little dog for, probably 10 years, 3 different ones. And with their little bitty short legs, they collect all the dirt and gravel and whatever, wherever you're walking on their little bellies. So you're almost daily washing them to keep them so they're not scrubby. Okay, so lots and lots of things to talk about and think about and chew on, both financially and emotionally. Okay, so if you'd like to sit and talk, I'd be happy. We can do that on a Zoom call. We can do that on a phone call, or we can have that glass of wine or coffee that I was talking about before. So lots of options. Feel free to give me a call. I'm Sherry Laporte with Solid Rock Realty. My contact information is going to be right below this video under the more. You'll see a bolded more. Click on that and all that stuff will be saved there for you. So I look forward to hearing from you. If there's anything I can do to help or your friends, let me know. This is Sherry. Bye for now.